off the court with all the council question and answer session. He did a great motivational segment just now. What do you guys think about all of our lives? So one of the things that people don't really know, they see you the shyest, but tell me, what do you want people to really know about Harvard L Council? Singer. They didn't know you was a singer.
I think the biggest thing is what I say, that's real, and I live by what I say. Okay, I just don't just throw something out there so you can get it and you can get it and whatever. But if I'm saying something, I'm doing it. All right, I'm not gonna say something if I'm not doing it. All right, I think that's false advertising, if you will. Okay, so whatever you see me say and what you see me do or whatever, that's who I am, and that's how I kind of want people to remember me as somebody who says it and who's doing it. Okay.
What did it take to get there? That's easily said, but hard to do. We heard about your academic Prevail. Tell us, what did it take to get to the point where your mindset was set on Prevail?
Well, I think anytime you're going to be successful, you gotta come up with something, some type of strategy that's going to help you get to that next level. And I saw somebody talk about this, and when they talked about it, it did so much for me, or it resonated so much with me, that I decided, you know what, I've got to try to do something like this, because I knew I wanted to go to another level in life, and I knew that I had to do something to get to that next level, and that prevailing thing was the biggest thing that I've done to help me get to that next level, man. And another thing about the Prevail thing is, when I first started out with it, it was just P-R-E-V-A-L. The I was left out. And I was talking to somebody at work one day, and I was sharing it with them, and I was telling them I was just going to use it as Prevail, but even though it didn't spell Prevail, but you can kind of say it does. But he said, well, why don't you just add the I to it and make it initiative? So that's how it became the word Prevail, because somebody at work told me just add the I to it, and I added the I to it, man. So that's how that came about.
And how long have you been using Prevail as a mindset?
Ooh. Probably about 4 or 5 years now.
4 or 5 years.
About 4 or 5 years.
And you used a quote in your flyer saying that you want to do something different to make a difference. Tell me, what is it you doing different to make a difference?
Well, when I put that quote in there, you know, and it says that I want to make a difference, doing something that makes a difference, with people making a difference at a time that makes a difference. Okay, so kind of in a nutshell, that's what I'm all about making a difference. Because as I sit here now, as I look at Trevon, as I look at these two young men, and as I look at you, all right, you're the reason why, you guys are the reason why I do what I do, all right, as far as trying to make a difference, all right. If y'all guys don't know, all right, Dewan is my nephew, okay, and I'm gonna tell this little story real quick. His father was my brother, and he died at an early age. And I kind of stepped in and kind of more like his father, uncle type of thing, man. And we spent a lot of time together. But Dewan was kind of off the chain growing up, and we had to reel him back in. You know what I'm saying? And now when I look at him now, because he had his issues back then, but when I look at him now, he's a prosperous young man. He just got married to a beautiful young lady. He's doing outstanding work in the community with his job, working with a lot of kids now. So he's kind of paying it back forward. But for me, you know, I think I had a hand in making a difference in his life. I didn't have the 100% hand, because he had his mom and he had some other people as well. But I think I had a hand in helping him to change and make a difference in his life, man. And I think I made a difference in Trevon's life as well. Trevon played for me back in middle school and junior varsity, man. So those were like long years ago, man. But he's still here. He's still right here. Matter of fact, he helps me out with the Vision Academy program. He's running the basketball AAU program for us, man. So he's doing, you know, an outstanding job. And I'm proud of these two guys because I think I had a hand in them doing what they're doing. You know, like I said, I'm not taking full credit now, but I had a little drop in there, man. You know, because he didn't have to be here today. He didn't have to be here today. But they're here for a reason. They're here for a reason. So.
Now that you didn't put my past business out there. Tell me, now, I remember when we were going from Camden to Lugol in the Thunderbird, and you would have a newspaper in there and you would tell me, read. And reading's been a part of you for a long time. You tell me to read. This guy is crazy. Read the newspaper. So you try to read something else besides the sports section. You maybe get into something different. Tell me, how has reading, go a little deeper and tell us how reading has helped you from the difference between you reading before and now. As much as you say you read 27 books? That's a lot of reading, Mr. Counsel. That's a lot of reading. So tell me, before you started reading 27 books, one book, what was life like?
Well, I'll tell you, starting reading period, man, has been a game changer for me, man. It's changed the game for me. But before I got into reading, you know, I couldn't stand to read, man. Even when I was in college, man, I tried to pay somebody to read for me, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I did not want to read, man. I didn't care nothing about reading, man. But when I met my wife, she's an avid reader, man. If I read 27 books a year, she probably reads 50. I mean, I'm not jiving. I end up buying her a tablet or Kindle so she can download the books because we had so many books in our house. We had room to put them, man, and they were all her books, man. So she was an avid reader, and I remember one day reading, and I came across a word that I didn't know what the word was, and I wasn't a big reader at that time, but I asked her what the word meant, and she popped it off just like that, man. And man, how do you know that? She said, well, I was reading and I saw it one day, you know. And she's big on words, man, and stuff like that. So I said, man, I need to start reading so I can learn these words, so I can grow myself and be better, you know. But it all started watching her read and watching her grow as a reader. And so I decided that, you know what, I need to invest in this, man, because, you know, it will make a difference. You know, that's just like, you know, I talked about earlier about the average American only reads one book a year. The average millionaire reads one a month. You know, that makes all the difference in the world, man. So that changed the game for me once I started reading, man. I couldn't stop, man, because I was here and then I saw myself get here. And every time I see myself grow, I just want to do it even more. You know, it just makes me want to read even more. Yeah.
That brings the word drive to my mind. What drives you to, one, read 27 books in a year? That's a lot. It's a lot of reading and trying to understand it and applying. What drives you to want to continue, you know, not only reading, writing, and speaking to folks, but you can't overcome a lot of challenges here just in Kershaw County alone with your Vision Academy, your Vision Sports with the camp. There were a lot of challenges there, but you kept going. What's your drive?
You guys, that's what drives me. When I can see making a difference in somebody's life, you know, because I'm a passionate person. When I'm doing something, I'm real passionate about what I'm doing. I care about what I'm doing. I'm probably one of the most competitive persons you ever want to meet. And I think that drives me a lot because I don't want to fail, even though I know failure is part of life, and I know you're going to fail sometime, but I don't want to fail. So I think my passion drives me, that keeps me going, to keep me wanting to be successful in any endeavor that I get involved in.
Oh, wow. Passion. That is something that you have to discover within, correct?
Yeah.
Passion.
Yeah.
What was the process of discovering your passion? And to do these things that you're doing?
When I was in college, I was doing some student teaching at an elementary school, and I was doing an activity with the elementary school kids, and first time I ever did it. And when I was doing it, the kids loved it, man. They were all into it, man. So I'm like, man, this feels good. I like this. I'm enjoying this, man. So I kind of knew then that that's my purpose. That was my passion, you know, to be able to work with these young kids and to get them to develop and go to another level, man. So that would be the thing, man.
At this time, I'm going to break and ask any audience member who would have a question for Mr. Council to
go easy on me now.
Rev, go ahead, sir. Introduce yourself to us, the ones who don't know you, and ask your question, sir. Introduce yourself to us.
I'm Thomas Buffer, Pastor Kennedy Church of Catholic. That is in Georgia district. And my question is, what can you do in the way of a youth council and get information? Since I'm a pastor, I think it's more better if you can go to a central location. Because a lot of times in our church, you know, we are so concerned about our particular place, but when you come to a central location, it's more better for everybody. So what can you do towards getting us information on some type of youth conference or camp with a similar split that you had today, that we could get ourselves together in Chicago and come together? I think it would be very educational and very beneficial to not only our young people, but our old as well.
Okay. I think that would be a great idea. I think that's probably something that we need to get together and talk about, Brother Clinton, and put something together like that, because I think we need to be doing more stuff like this, and especially like you say, in a centralized location where we can get the people from Cassett, from Lugoff, from Camden, from Bethune, or whatever, all in a central location. And I think that can happen easily, but we just got to get the people that want to do it, or get people behind us, you know, who will give us what we need to do to get it done. And it's not going to cost a whole lot of money from a financial standpoint. I think the biggest thing is just getting people to support it, you know, to support it. And so we need to get together on that, man. I mean, I love to be a part of that. I love to be a part of that.
That's awesome.
What is the most competitive thing you learned from basketball that you're bringing out to the world and that you will allow nobody to stop you?
Well, you know what? Probably one of the greatest things that ever happened to me was playing a game of basketball, man, because I was able to take all the lessons that I learned from basketball and be able to translate it over to my life outside of basketball. And that's one of the reasons why I think my daughter came up with the name Off the Court with Harvey Council. So you know what I'm saying? So everything that I do off the court is because of what I did on the court. You know what I'm saying? My competitive nature on the court is the same as it is off the court. And I think, especially in college, when you play college basketball, you got to be competitive, because I left Camden in 1980, went to Jacksonville, was part of 4 freshman class coming in. So now I got upper class ahead of me, and I want to play. I want to sit on the bench. You know what I'm saying? So now I gotta be competitive, man. I mean, there were fights sometimes in practice because everybody was competing and trying to get a spot. You know what I'm saying? But it taught you that if you're competitive here and you making a difference, you can be competitive out here and make a difference. All right? So I just took that competitive nature out there on the court, took it off the court. And then it taught me too, basketball taught me too, because when you're in college, man, we had to sign for breakfast every morning. We had to go to class every day. You know, in college now, you go to class when you want to go to class. You know what I'm saying? Well, I ain't going today, but I'm gonna show up and take the test, kind of thing. Not when you're on a basketball scholarship, because you got to sign in. The coaches make sure you go into class. I remember I missed breakfast one day. I didn't go to breakfast, man. And 6 o'clock the next morning, it was knocked on my door. I had to go run 3 miles for missing breakfast. So that taught me right there, you know, okay, this thing is serious. And ever since then, going through all that, I'm that same way now. You know, I'm that same way now. You know, I get up early now. You know, I do all the things that I'm supposed to do the right things, and those type of stuff, man. So that basketball, man, has put me where I'm at today for the most part. For the most part, man. It's a good question, man. Good question.
So I want to switch up here a little bit and go into your vision board. You talked a little bit about your vision board earlier. You put a call on there, didn't know the how as to how you were going to get it, and you got it. You haven't let me drive yet, but you got it. Tell us a little bit about what goes into, because this is now, I want to say a fad, but everybody's doing vision boards. But vision boards is not putting pictures on a board and saying, oh yeah, I want that. Vision board is it's a lot deeper. So tell us about your concept of the vision board.
Yeah, it's just more than just putting pictures up there or writing something on the board. What it does is kind of like a guide that almost like goals or whatever, but you put it up there and see. And when I put mine up, mine is in my bedroom, and if my bed is right here, my vision board is right here. So as soon as I turn over and get up in the morning, guess what the first thing I see? I see my vision board. So I can look at it and I can say, okay, this is what I got up there. Okay, what am I gonna do today toward making that happen? Okay, it ain't just throwing it up there. And then when you do that, what happens is day by day, inch by inch, you start to see this stuff start to come into play. And you know what? And like I say, how I was gonna get that stuff up there, I had no idea how I was gonna get it. But I knew I was gonna get it because that was my vision. That's what I was believing for, you know? And I'm gonna tell you, it blew my mind, some of the things that when I put up there, that take for instance, I was, last year, my supervisor did her evaluation, and I wrote on my vision board. And my wife is my judge. I wrote on my vision board prior to that I wanted to get a certain amount of money increase on my salary, and I wrote that down and I put it on the vision board. And when I met with my supervisor, I got an increase, and the increase was the what? Same amount. Don't tell them what the amount was. Same. But it was the hey, especially Linda. Don't tell Linda.
It was mind blowing because he just walked in and the usual, how's your day today? He slid me the paper and he said, look at this. This is what happened today. And we looked at it, and I went to the vision board, and I was like, man, I'm afraid of the vision board, y'all. I have to look at the vision board to see what's on it and get myself prepared for what's coming. Because, I mean, it was the exact amount that he had said he wanted for the increase. Yeah.
And when I wrote it up there, left it alone, didn't even think about it anymore. But it ended up happening. Because you put it there. Put it down, man. Write it down. Put it up somewhere. All right? That makes a difference because we got a lot of stuff up here that we just keep up here. You know, write it down, man. Write it down. You know, I talk about goals and stuff, man. A goal isn't a goal if it isn't written down. Okay? It's just a dream. It ain't a goal. Goals have to be written down. All right? And when you take the time to write it down, you're going to take the time to take steps toward meeting that goal. But if you never write it down, you're probably not going to take any steps toward meeting. In fact, on my new vision board this year, I have all my goals lined up on the vision board. So one is a lot bigger than this one now. The one I got for 2019 is a lot bigger than that one this year.
Jeez. That one's crowded. Man, so tell me, when do you start working on your new vision board? Do you do one every year, or do you do it till you achieve everything on your current?
That's a good question, because 2017 one that I didn't do one for 2018. I just kind of kept that one going throughout. So it just depends on where I'm at in the process. And some things you're not going to get. Some things that doesn't happen, and it might not happen that year, but that don't mean I'm giving up on it. You know what I'm saying? So it may end up rolling over into the next year or whatever. But I did do one for this year.
So there's people out here doing vision boards every year, not achieving the stuff from last year, just making a collage, huh?
Yeah.
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 I got you.
I mean, you don't need to keep going if you're not seeing anything happen, man. You know.
Outstanding. You got a question?
Not necessarily a question, but I want you, if you can, speak on some.
Introduce yourself.
Quote for your book. My name is Dion Hardy. Me and Mr. Council were with College Together Crystal, and we graduated together, one of my best friends. One quote I want you to, I guess, speak on is about, which was my favorite quote in the book. It's called, "Ability may get you to the top, but it takes character to stay there."
Ooh, man, yes. That's a good one. Ability may get you to the top, but it takes character to stay there. Now, if you understand what character is, you understand, why it takes that to stay there. All right. Let's use an athlete for an example. You got a great athlete who's a knucklehead. He's got great ability. All right. Can do anything on the court, football field, baseball, whatever. Just awesome, man. But you got a character. Talk to me. Hey, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. You got a lot of guys that can play for a long time, but their careers are cut short because they don't have any character. The ability is there. If I'm a coach, I want ability, but I'll take character first. What you say about that? You can vouch for that. Have you ever thrown anybody out the gym?
All the time.
All the time, man. If you don't come in there right, ready, no, don't even come in. All right? And come in with character. All right? But yeah, a lot of people have got a lot of ability, man. But you know what? I'm gonna use this as an example. Somebody may disagree with me, man, but when Golden State lost the last championship, I think it was because of Draymond Green. Draymond Green got suspended for a game because of his tactics, because he's always acting up. He always, they had the momentum in that series. Soon as he did what he did, because there's no way Cleveland should have beat them with one man, the LeBron show. There's no way they should have beat them, in my mind. But because I think Golden State was up, I believe, in the series. And then Cleveland came back because this dude gets ejected and gets thrown out of the game because of his character. Because of his character flaw. Great ability, because they can't win without him. Yeah, that's how good he is. But he's a knucklehead. In my mind, he don't need to be in the NBA. That's just my opinion, because all he brings is ability, nothing else. And he's getting paid millions of dollars, man, to act like a knucklehead. So did that kind of answer your question?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Also, when you also talking about character.
Tell us what character is, your definition of character.
That is.
Character is, and I like to use an example of when I was teaching school. To me, character is, if I'm the teacher in this room right here, and I say that I need to step out the room for a minute, I need everybody to be quiet, I don't want anybody talking. I'm gonna step out the room, and I'm gonna go. As soon as I step out the room, everybody start yak. Okay. To me, that's not having character. But character is doing the right thing when nobody's watching.
That's right.
That's what I mean by that when I say that. Character is doing the right thing when nobody's watching. So when you're supposed to spray white, when you're supposed to spray white, and I ain't there, spray white.
Mr. Clinton, go ahead.
John Clinton, let me ask you something, Mr. Council, your vast experience dealing with young folks as well as older folks. What can I do? What can this young man do with the young people, school-age people that we have coming up today? I'm not talking about the ones that you spoke about today, the ones that have malice and respect and one character. But how can we not give up on those knuckleheads that curse us out, call us all kind of things, wear their pants down here? What can we do in the field and the profession that we in to try to help these young folks versus we getting tired of them just turn out here? What can we do to try to get our generation to where they need to be?
Okay, that's another good question. From my experience with dealing, when I was working with the Teen Companion Program at Louisville Felton High School, I dealt with a lot of at-risk children. And the biggest thing that I found that will work to help them is you got to get their parents on board, okay? Because I can do what I can do for him every day and try to get him on the right track. And he gonna listen to me when he with me. But if that parent is not doing what they need to do at home, when they go back to the house, you just defeating the purpose. So my thing is, I would try to get with the parent to get them to understand. Because and parents come to me all the time wanting help with their child. I just had one not too long ago come to me and wanting help with the child. But they didn't want to help. You're not gonna throw that off on me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't mind helping you and I want to help you. But don't just think I'm gonna be the lone savior here. You know what? I'm not with that child every day. You know what I'm saying? You with them. You sleep, they in the same house. All right. So we gotta have a plan, me and that parent. And we gotta see eye to eye and say, okay, if Billy Bob does this, then we need to do this. You know, that type of thing, man. But getting with the parent, number one, and then number two, I think you gotta be in an environment where it has to be a consistent thing where you're working with those kids, man. You know, it can't be, Johnny sees you today and doesn't see you for 2 more weeks, okay? When you're consistently in that life on a consistent basis, and it's gonna be hard sometimes, but the consistency will help you turn the corner, all right? And I think most of these young men that are acting out want attention. They want that attention, man. And they want the right attention. They want attention, period. However, that's why they join games, man. Because they want some attention. You know what I'm saying? But if we can get the parent on board, and if we can get some type of consistency around meeting with that individual, I think that'll be a starting point. I think that'll be a starting point.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, now we're talking about Miss Missouri. You had a question for Mr. Council.
How do you motivate somebody when they strike a spot? Life circumstances put them in a spot and they just stuck. They don't know how to move. They can't go forward. They can't go backward. They just stay. And it just seems like they have no motivation, no nothing. I'm just here.
Ooh, that's a doozy there. I think the first thing you have to look at is what got you to that spot. What got them to that spot. All right? And then some way, shape, or form, we would have to find a way to start making baby steps to get out of that. Because a lot of times when people are stuck like that, we want them to change just like that. It ain't gonna happen just like that. All right? It's gonna take little successes after little successes in order to get there. But like I said, everything is about being consistent though. Everything is about, okay, this is how it's gonna be, this is how it gotta be done, and we need to do it, and we need to do it that way all the time. But I would go back to the root to find out what made them get stuck there, all right? And once you find out what made them get stuck there, then you can kind of devise a plan to help get them out there, little by little bit. Now, they didn't get there overnight, so they're not gonna get out overnight. You know what I'm saying? But it takes consistency to stay with it, and I think that's the thing that we do too often is we try. I've been working with DeJuan for 2 weeks now. This joker ain't changed yet, and we kind of give up. You can't give up. You got to stay with it. You got to stay on them. You got to stay with it, man. Okay. So just taking those little baby steps and finding out what the root cause of it. Because if you don't get down to the root, that's going to keep going, man. It's going to keep going. I hope that answers your question a little bit.
Can I add?
Add to it.
I'd like to add something to that. When you're talking about being stuck, I don't know per se if you're speaking, you're trying to help someone else that's stuck. I think my first course of action will be a journal. I don't know how many people journal, but journaling, writing your feelings down, and when I speak about journaling, I'm not talking about writing in your journal. If someone picked your journal up, this is what you like them to see. I'm talking about the grid. You give the person the journal because being stuck signifies that they have a fear. Being stuck means there's something that happened that they internalize and it has taken on a life of its own. There's a tremendous amount of fear, and fear is nothing more than a story that we told ourselves about something that may or may not happen, and it begins to guide our life. So the first course of action is something like that. You get stuck over, it's a process to get stuck. You don't plant a seed today and reap the harvest the same day. It takes a minute to reap your harvest. So the same way you got there is the same way you got to get out. And I believe the first thing I would do is hand that person a journal and say, this is your journal. This is where you put your ugly. This is where you put all of the things that when you look in the mirror and you can't look at yourself clear and see yourself clearly without being disgusted, because you know what? You can't change anything that you don't first acknowledge it's there. You can't fix a problem that you won't acknowledge. And so I would give that person a journal and say, start journaling, start writing, because you got to get it out. You got to get it out. And that, to me, is the beginning process of becoming unstuck. Because when you start to see clearly, then you're going to start asking yourself other questions. Why am I here? What's my purpose? Do I get up day in and day out and this is what I'm supposed to be doing every day? Is there more to life than just this? So offer that person a journal. At the beginning of the year, I bought journals because I work in the middle school and I see a lot of young ladies, and I hand out journals. It may work, it may not work, but why not give it a try?
We have one question over here.
I just want to.
Right here, classmate. Right here. Yep, I got you though. Yes, sir.
All right. I'm Trevon. You're gonna introduce me a lot, but thank you for that. My question is, or can you explain PhD? Just to give a little insight on it. When we was in middle school, the thing the coach used to make us do was, in order say that the girls had practice before we did, so we used to we stuck around the school to wait, so we wouldn't get in the gym probably until about 5. So between the time school ended and the time we had practice, to keep our minds in the right place, he used to make us go in the classroom. So everybody around the school used to be like, oh man, what kind of basketball team y'all on? Like, it's crazy how y'all got basketball homework and all this kind of stuff, but in order to get in the gym, he had these quotes, and we had to memorize these quotes, and we had to recite them in order to get into practice. If you don't know them, then that's part of that. Hey, well, go ahead and call your mom because you ain't coming to hit it. One of the quotes is, well, one of the ones that we worked on, that I worked on with my young guys, was always the 5 P's to success. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Going into this summer, I'm looking to get into another one that he taught us, which is PhD. Can you explain that a little bit?
PhD. Most people think that's acronym for a doctor or physician or whatever. But we used it when I was coaching PhD as a thing where the P stands for poor, the H stands for hungry, and the D stands for driven. So our thing was that you had to be poor, hungry, and driven. If you want to be on this team, you had to have a PhD. You had to be poor, you had to be hungry, and you had to be driven. And when I say poor, poor doesn't mean poor like you ain't got nothing. Poor means like you want that knowledge. You want to gain that knowledge. You don't have that what you need right now. So you poor in that area. So I need you to gain this knowledge so you can help us out. All right. And the hungry part, you know, it's like I need you to be to that point where you're gonna go get it no matter what. Because you know what? A lot of times when we get hungry and our stomach start growling, what do? We go open that refrigerator. You know, so that's what I need you to do on that court, man. All right, I need you to go get it. I need you to be hungry about it, and then you need to be driven. All right, you need to be driven. I shouldn't have to say to you, go do this and go do that. You need to be driven to go do it because you know it needs to be done. Okay, and so that's the type of mindset that we try to have. And I know he got some stories he can tell, man. Because you know what, I wasn't an ordinary type of coach, man. But my players, I think they have a lot of respect for me. All right, my wife is laughing over there, man. But I can say I don't think it may be, but I don't think out of all the guys that I've coached, I don't think anybody to this day hates me. I think they got a lot of respect for me. And I was hard. Was I hard?
Oh yeah.
But it was tough love though, man. It was love, man. You know, that's what I do. That's what I'm good at, man. I don't even know why I'm doing the job I'm doing now, just because that's not what I do. That coaching is what I do, man. That's who I am. And I guess that's what I do at work too, because I coach people, man. I gotta keep them fired up most of the time, man. You know? Is that answer it, man?
Yeah.
Okay.
We got one more question for Mr. Council. And we're going to end in the segment. We're going to let Classman come back because he has great information. Coach Council, Mr. Council, affectionately known by me as tell us, what do you want your legacy to be? How do you want to be remembered?
Well, I kind of go back to that same quote again, man, that was on that's on the flyer about wanting to be remembered as somebody who made a difference in somebody's life, and to be remembered that I tried to help people along the way. I tried to live by my own words. And the biggest thing is just, you know, I tried to be of service to other people. You know, because I think that's why we're here, man. I think we're here to serve. Everybody wants to be a taker all the time. You know, we got to stop being takers all the time, and we got to start being givers. We got to be willing to serve, man. I mean, because if you look at Jesus, what he did, all he did was serve, man. You know, serve. You know, so I think that's why we're here. I think a lot of people get it twisted sometimes, all right? But we're here to serve. You know what I'm saying? And anytime you can serve somebody else, man, that's the whole ball game right there, man. Just being a servant, man. All right? But I like to use servant leadership as one of my examples. What I try to do at work, I try to go by that servant leadership type of thing, man, where, you know, you got to serve others, man. You know, you got to serve others. So if I had to say anything, that's what I like to be remembered by, serving others and making a difference, man.
Being remembered by what you did for people. I like that. I like service. And we're going to end on that right here on this segment. With Off the Court with Harvin Council. Thank you again. I appreciate it.
Okay. Appreciate it.
All right.